Do your thing. Always, baby, always. And your brother.
Deeper and deeper I go. I find what it is I should know. 'Cause it's just a matter of time that you'll reawaken your mind. Oh, come with me, come to know and find out what is true. Then you'll know what's in store just for you. No more living the life I can look to the sky and say I'm reawakening mine. Come to know and find out what is true, yes. Then you'll know what's in store just for you. No more living the life I can look to the sky and say I'm reawakening mine.
Islam, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Beta Megam. We have a head scratcher here for you today. We have an illuminated topic. We're going to present it in such a manner to get you to think. All right. Today's topic is Black Lives Don't Matter. How the modern day European classify the Moors as black. International law and the ongoing denationalization of a people. Now, Tamriel is going to be presenting to you the hashtag Black Lives Matter. What does that mean? What does hashtag Black Lives Matter mean? Let's break that down. Tamriel will be breaking that down for you. All right? Give her a hand.
Happy holiday, Moors. Happy holiday, Moors. We are recording. We're not live because, we still are in the process of having to deal with the, what is it called, the pandemic, the shelter in place and things of that nature. But we wanted to bring about this topic because it's a topic that is heavily affecting the communities, kinships, relationships, and things of that nature. So throughout the planetary, throughout Mexico, Africa, throughout, you see riots and protests in relationship to an event that occurred. And with that being said, you hear the slogan and the chat that indicates Black Lives Matter. However, we titled this evening episode, Black Lives Don't Matter. And it's not a slight to our kinship, and it's not that we're saying that as a people, as a person, you don't matter. That's not the plight of tonight's episode. What we'd like you to do is go ahead and hit that share button, because we know on this platform we have a very broad, wide, conscious audience. So what we would like for you to do is hit that share button to your kinfolks that are not conscious of what you may know. And in this episode this evening, it will allow you to be able to share what you are able to see and what you the message you're trying to get over to them. Because I know personally, and in other conversations that I've had with people, this is a very difficult topic when you're trying to explain that someone is not black. You're not black. You have a nationality. You are rooted in your nativity, your pedigree, the roots. So it's hard to try to explain that when there's so many emotions going on. And we do understand that our people throughout the years, so let's just say we're not gonna go too far back. Let's just go far back let's just go back far as the 60s, right? In the 60s, an event occurred, and Martin Luther King was assassinated. And when that assassination occurred, it disrupted and upset the people. So the people needed a comforter. They say in the Biblios, which is AKA the Holy Bible, that you'll be left with a comforter. Okay, so the people needed a comforter because they felt that at that time, the one who was bringing about change of oppression and helping to liberate, or either a form of liberation, their personal life was cut down premature. So that caused a huge disruption throughout the land. And the people were very disenchanted, depressed, and things of that nature. So the people needed a comfort. So you have this song that came out that stated that you were black and you was proud. And the people were able to take that song and harness it and give them a sense of gratitude, a sense of belonging, a sense of being in a class or a culture that had pride. So we hold on to these truths, but they're actually not rooted in truth. So that being said, let's break down Black Lives Don't Matter. So we're just going to look at the hashtag sign. We're going to break down each word. And we're just going to look at the hashtag sign, with that being said. The hashtag. Now, the hashtag is also meaning Libra Pundis, which is a accounting sign and a currency sign. So this is for currency. This is for currency. No matter what someone may tell you it is today, this sign was utilized to represent when you're doing an accounting and currency. So that's what this sign was utilized for. It actually had a different look. It actually looked a bit like there was two lines and there was a squiggly mark, something like that. And throughout the time period, they changed it to two horizontal lines and two vertical lines. But the fact still remains that, and what I'm telling you, please look it up. Don't believe anything that I say, anything someone else say. This is verifiable information that you can teach and share with someone. So when we get down to the real truth understanding, it will all make sense. So the hashtag sign is for accounting, currency. So if you look back in history during the Roman period, and it goes back farther than that. It goes back like in the 700s. That's what the development of the pound, Libra Pundis, was utilized for. Now, let's go to the word black. Black is an adjective. Black describes something, such as a noun. Black is not a noun. Okay? So black did not come into B-L-A-C-K, did not come into existence to 1500s. So that's this is a modern Old English word. Now the root of this word is B-H-L-E-G, which is blade, which means to burn, gleam, shine, and flash. This does not denote a race of people. No, it does not describe a race of people. That's why Black Lives Don't Matter. It does not describe a race of people. Now, let's look at lives. Lives, it's a noun. And the definition of lives, condition that distinguishes animals and plants and humans from organic matter, which means origin, mother, source. So the word lives is a noun, person, place, thing, or idea. So this deals with the condition, okay? So this deals with the condition. Matter is a noun, which in Sanskrit, which is the language before Latin, then if you can look in your dictionary and just flip to the back, and you'll see the language chart. And within that language chart, you'll be able to understand how the language is transformed, transliterated throughout the ages. So, as you can see, matter is a noun, And the Sanskrit of the word is mater, M-A-T-E-R. And this is the English word, mother. English word mother, and which means mother, origin, source. So what is the origin, mother, and source of your pedigree, which means your root? That is your nationality. So we're all rooted in a nationality. You can't be rooted in a classification. This is a classification. And Brother Abdullah is going to come forward and break that down even further. This is a racial construct classification. So that's why it was very important for us to just go with the basics of understanding. Black lives don't matter because black is not a race, is a racial classification, and black is not rooted in the origin of your nationality. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you're able to share this information with your kinfolks so they can see just the basic principles of understanding of when someone say black lives don't matter, they're understanding that it's not placed in its proper root of your national standing, your pedigree of who you are. So I'm going to yield the floor, and I'm going to let Brother Abdullah go even further in detail. Brother Abdullah is an etymologist, teacher, author, Moors and Masonry, Masonic Compass and Square, How Her Venus and Moon Rule. He taught at Temple Pastuck University for over 16 years and currently teaching online school, has started a new online academy, Academy of Providence. So I'm just going to yield the floor and let Brother Abdullah El Talib Mosey Bey take it even further.
Islamic King, everyone. Good time in your hands. Wonderful job. Wonderful. Absolutely. Man, absolutely. Yes. Now, y'all heard me speak on constructionism. We have the originalism, the fixed, immovable, organic meaning of words. The Europeans created the scheme, birthright skilling scheme of constructionism. And constructionism moves us away from the well-settled principles, the fixed meanings, the fixed standards and principles and norms. So they're using constructionism to steal our birthright. They're inventing a construct called race to steal our birthright. The problem is that we're using the construction, this paradigm that the Europeans have created. They have orchestrated our minds and fixed our minds into that constructionist paradigm and making us believe that your race is based in pedigree, that is natural, it's invented. Let's look at this. Francois Bernard, there is an article titled Francois Bernard and the Invention of Racial Classifications. Now, he lived, Francois Bernard was born in 1620 and transitioned in 1688. He spent 9 years in what they call modern day India. And he studied the caste system. He was also he served as the physician of the Mongol Emperor Aurangzeb. So And he focused on classifying people according to phenotype and skin tone. Where did that come from? So the term race used in this construct was first used by Francois Benet. The term race used to refer to people by classifying them by their phenotype or skin tone was done and was orchestrated by Francois Benet. We don't know the origin of these constructs. This is where our problem is. We don't know the well-settled principles and norms. And by not knowing the well-settled principles and norms, we deal with emotions. The Europeans is the puppeteer, and they can pull the string and get us to react to anything they want, because we're not settled. Our minds are not settled as fixed principles. Our minds are orchestrated with an artificial construct that they created. So therefore they control us. So as Tamara Ill put it, when we deal, particularly because of what happened to George Floyd, we are our emotions are heightened. So we were to have this topic, Black Lives Don't Matter, at a protest of George Floyd, out here on the streets, we would get, they would, because of the emotion, they're not going to hear us that way. So so what we're doing is doing it in this setting and preparing nationalized Moors to address this topic in an intellectual manner. So this is why Tamara thought it would be prudent to take this angle of Black Lives Don't Matter we looked at expanding on it and looking and analyzing in the context of denationalization of a people. So when you talk about the denationalization of people, that is discussed in the context of international law. So black, as you know, doesn't refer to a people. Black refers to a negative status, a political condition of a people who are outside of law, who are not afforded, because of that status, treaty protection and rights. Now, this was so great job here. This is a great job here, so she really did a good job in breaking this down. I didn't even know about I saw the legal sign, but I didn't know it's a connection to a county. So let me further expand on that. You have the race and ethnic standards for federal statistics and administrative reporting that was established by the Office of Management and Budget in 1977. The Census Bureau is in the Commerce Department. Why is the Census Bureau that goes around every 10 years to do a head count of people, why is that in the Commerce Department? Why Commerce? What does commerce mean? All right, so I hate to erase this. Well, I mean, the handwriting is impeccable. I mean, wow, this is great. All right, so moving on. So let's give the people, the king said, give the people some foundation, something that's solid. Solid. So we have here we go. Commerce Department. We have Commerce Department. We have Census Bureau. All right, Census Bureau. If you have then the Census Bureau, you have the Office of Management and Budget. This puts together the budget. All right. So every 10 years, there's a head count. We have these people that go around and send out the census. But Commerce Department, why? What does commerce mean? The root word. Here's the root word. It means trade. So you have a word, a department. United States Commerce Department, a department that deals with the head count of people when the word means trade. Something's wrong here. Let's go back to that hashtag. Let's tie this to the hashtag. Accounting. Alright? So we're looking at finance. Office of Management and Budget. The Office of Management and Budget, called the OMB, in 1977 developed the race and ethnic standards for federal statistics and administrative reporting. Black, Hispanic, white, you have Alaska Native, American Indian, that classification, and the definitions. And the definitions for each classification was developed by the Office of Management and Budget in 1977. Also, you're aware that in the Census Bureau, there is a racial classification for every nationality. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07. So each group, the United States has grouped nationalities and classified nationalities as race. Chinese, Japanese, French, Italian. Every nationality has a race code. Come on, race code. I'm trying to get this here. Race code for nationalities. So you have the word race and the word nationality. They're two different words. They're two different words. There's a race code for nationalities. The race and ethnic standards were developed by Office of Management and Budget. So what's going on? They deal with human trafficking. Hashtag accounting. They deal with this is why. So the human trafficking, the United States Human Trafficking Department. The United States Human Trafficking Department.
That's right.
Now, This is in violation of the J Treaty of 1795, Ghent Treaty, 1814, Treaty of Peace and Friendship between His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Morocco, and the United States, 1787. Treaty of Tripoli between the Bay of Tripoli and the United States, 1795. The Treaty of Peace between the Day of Algiers and the United States, 1796. Violation. All right. Now, we've entered into unconscionable contracts all our lives. Let's not show me, don't show me the contract. Let's first talk about why did I enter into this unconscionable contract? I went to school. I went to school every day. I wasn't taught that I was a Moor. I went to school every day. So what is the intent of the United States teaching the Moors that they're black? What's the intent? Is to use the Moors as articles of commerce. The intent. The history textbooks, the history curriculum. So the question is, let's first, Abdullah, it ain't their obligation to teach us who we are. Whoa, 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 whoa. You like how you know me. Show me in any treaty that it's their obligation to lie to us. Show me in any treaty it's their obligation to teach us that we're black. Because they are teaching us. We go to school. We do go to school. So they're giving us instructions when we go to school. So show me in any treaty where they are obligated. I mean, they are teaching us now. So hold on. I'm challenging anybody in the world right now who says it's not their obligation to teach us. Because they are teaching us. Now, if it was one thing, they'd left us alone.
That's right. And I would get to teach us.
If they just left us alone and then put us in these schools. If they didn't put us in any schools and they give us any instructions, but they are giving us instructions. They are instructing us that we're black. They are instructing us that our ancestors were transported by the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch, the English, and the Spaniards from the continent of Africa to North Central South America during the 16, 17, 1800s. They are teaching us that. So they are giving us instructions. No treaty. Where's the treaty? So now, what is the intent? What's the intent of the instructions? So now there are protections is to remove the protections and immunities that the treaties provide for us. The intent is to remove the protections and immunities that the treaty provides. That's the intent. So to say that they are not obligated to teach us, they are teaching us. No treaty obligates them to teach us that we're black. So they are in violation. The United States is in violation. The treaty, there's no treaty. The J Treaty of 1795 between the United States and Great Britain. Great Britain got the United States to agree to protect the Moors pre-existing before the treaties, right to navigation. They got the United States to agree to that. Who taught us that we're black? Because the Moors didn't teach that. Where did the instructions, what body of people or what jurisdiction is that, are those lessons coming from? Here we go. You said, but your people are doing it. No. I said, what jurisdiction? Those scholars went to schools under United States jurisdiction. Those quote unquote, every last one of them. Those quote unquote black scholars went to United States jurisdictional schools. I said what jurisdiction. I didn't say what people. Because they are working, those quote unquote black scholars are working in the United States jurisdiction. Those quote unquote black scholars were indoctrinated. We're not talking about they learned what they learned after school. We're not talking about that. Remember, we're in world court. We're in world court. I don't want you to present nothing what they learned outside of schools. Because those quote unquote black scholars did not learn no truth in the schools. Not talking about what they learned outside of the schools. We're talking about the textbooks of from pre-K to 12th grade that these quote unquote black scholars went to. All of them did. What did they learn in those schools? Not what they learned, because they did not learn a lick of truth in those schools. They may have learned truth outside of when they graduated on their own. We're not talking about independent study. We talk about holding United States. So those black scholars went to school in United States jurisdiction. All of them did. They were given textbooks. Age 3 years old, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, 17. It's a violation of the treaty. What's the intent? What's the intent of the instructions again? Is to remove, again, the obligations, the protections, and the immunities that the treaties provide. The treaties provide great protections and immunities. The J Treaty, 1795. Gag Treaty, 1814. The General Treaty between Morocco and Great Britain, 1856. The Act of Algiers, 1906. The treaty between the peace of friendship between Morocco and the United States, 1787. The peace treaty between the Bay of Tripoli and the United States, 1795. The Day Treaty, the treaty between the Bay of Algiers and the United States, 1796. The 1778 treaty between the Lenape Moors and the United States, British subjects, provide tremendous protection and immunities. So when you teach a people that they're black, that's coming from not Moors classified as black, they were colored. from the United States. Let's not charge the scholars classified as black men or colored. We're talking about a jurisdiction. We're talking about an obligation, treaty obligation. Moors, those quote-unquote black scholars, are not in self-government. So they are outside of the treaty. We're talking about an obligation